My Parliament, my planet. I'm Anthony Vieira, and I am an independent senator with the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. Tobago barely escaped the wrath of Hurricane Beryl, but Beryl pulverized other parts of the Caribbean, Carriacou, Union Island, Grenada, and we anticipate a hyperactive hurricane season this year. When you're talking super hurricanes, category 5s and over. The destruction is profound, as you'd have seen from the images. It takes years to recover, not just in terms of homes and infrastructure, but agriculture. When Hurricane 4 hit Tobago in the 60s, it wiped out the whole cocoa industry there. And that's going to happen across the board with all our little islands. And after sacrificing and spending years rebuilding, then another hurricane comes and oop, you have to start again. So it's a vicious cycle. The heat is also occasioning drought. You may have seen that this year we had drought in, of all places, Panama, Mexico, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Even here, our Minister of National Utilities, climate change is posing a continuing problem to the country, its water supply and our distribution capabilities. And last but not least, of course, is damage to infrastructure. Coastal roads, bridges have been destroyed and damaged because floods and landslides and cutting off communities. So the climate change is definitely impacting Trinidad and Tobago and the region. Our own parliament is a leader in the region. We went paperless long ago. We no longer use plastics in the parliament. Our parliament has hosted youth debates on combating climate change. So I'm very proud of our parliament and the work of people like Mr. Caesar and former clerk to the House, Jackie. In terms of what I have done and what parliamentarians can do, we, of course, have oversight. We can bring motions and matters on the adjournment. In the past 3 months, I have brought several matters on the adjournment treating with climate change and the need to protect biodiversity and the environment. So I wrote a call for ratification of the Escazú Treaty. We were one of the initial signatories to that treaty. And yet today, so many years after, we've still not ratified it. So I've called on government and I am getting positive feedback that is under active consideration. We also have an environmental commission, a superior court of record, which is underutilized. And again, putting out awareness to say, look, make greater use of this specialized court. And again, calls on our government to transition from an energy-based country to a blue and a green economy, because we are, after all, an island state, to develop and implement circular strategies for handling waste and to allow greater access to the Green Fund. I'd like to say a little bit about Green Fund as well, because in Trinidad and Tobago have at least 2 or 3 things that are unique that you may not see in other parliaments and countries. So the fund was originally established through the Miscellaneous Taxes Act of 2000. But the problem is, the fund has billions of dollars in it right now, but environmentalists are complaining that they're not getting easy access to the money. So that is a little issue that we're trying to wrestle with, and I've called on the government to unlock the fund to environmentalists. Climate change is having a disproportionate impact on our small states, and it's going to increase poverty and inequality. I mean, we're talking microstates here. Countries like Barbados have under 400,000. The British Virgin Islands would have under 30,000. Tobago is 85,000. So small states that are really seriously affected and a whole different economy of scale. Now, copper certainly played an important role, but I think a lot more needs to be done. If we can plant 1 trillion trees, we can reverse climate change. We need to establish, I think, a loss and damage finance facility to help our small, vulnerable islands. We're definitely behind schedule in terms of what's being done, and we need to ramp up. Insufficient policies are in place as a region. There's little coherence, notwithstanding the efforts of Parliamentarians. Even though we do have regional institutions like CARICOM and the Caribbean Court of Justice, I think we need to ramp up a lot more. Now, in terms of being optimistic, I think that's the expression used, I'm a little pessimistic. And I say this for this reason. If Donald Trump is re-elected, I think he's going to roll back environmental regulations aimed at reducing greenhouse gases and protecting natural resources. He reduce funding as well for environmental agencies and thus undermine efforts that people have been putting forward to research and combat climate change. As a region, as a planet, we need to commit to aggressive climate action. We need to ramp up renewable energy. We need to raise climate change awareness across the board. We need, as I said, to plant trees. So those are my thoughts. I don't know if there's anything else I could elaborate on for you.